Hi Brandon, how are you?
Good, yeah.
Doing well. Welcome to the couch.
Comfy couch.
It is very good. What would life be like if sea levels were? Well, I guess what would life be like if we had to not live underwater, but like if sea levels were like risen a whole bunch?
So like Canada in general, or like
Um,
just
I like assume like
us?
I assume like what would life be like maybe for us?
Okay. Uh, I I don't think it'll change too much. Like I think it'll change for like a lot of people. Or like you want to go on a road trip. Like oh let's go out east. Well you can only go so far
Yeah,
out
you can only
east till
go
you're
far
in the
east
water.
now until you're in the water. Yeah. I'm thinking about those people too, though. Like, would people just continue to move inland, or do you think, well, I don't know, we'd eventually run out of space, wouldn't we? Like, if we asked so many people to start moving even more inland,
Yeah.
because we're already covering the planet so much.
Yeah.
Or do you,
That'd probably be an issue of everyone moving inland. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe by the time where people live in boats.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say something along the lines of like maybe people like adapting to
Houseboats.
a life. Like adapting to a life where they have to be on the water, or yeah, having like little like floating ish communities. Like I can actually
Yeah,
imagine
I
like
could see that.
having like people living on essentially like a massive yacht. Like when I say massive, I mean like the biggest. Like it's pretty much like
It's
almost like
basically
a
a city.
mini like yeah, like a little
Yeah.
city, and you just put that like out, probably a couple kilometers out from like the inlands, and then you just have boats like coming in and out constantly, just like delivering things and
Yeah,
like
that would be
I feel like that would have to be the adaptation for
that
a
would be the
huge
most.
water rise.
Yeah, I think that would be the most realistic thing to happen is something like that because we get overpopulated if everyone eventually came inland.
Yeah, well, I think that's how I think that's how like the world's kind of progressing, is kind of having like building taller buildings and fitting more people into one like in more I guess confined areas, right? So I think even I feel like because hasn't I don't know, I think there's something like some stats on New York, like they've built out because they've built out over the water so much. I feel like there's like some stat that says that they've like increased the size of New York by like 10 square kilometers over the past like couple hundred
Yeah.
years, because they keep building out onto the water.
Like I couldn't believe it. New York was not like when you look at it, New York's not a big place. A lot of
No.
people want to go and a lot of people want to live in New York. Well, you only have a certain area you can build and a certain area you can occupy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So it makes sense that it's kind of built out. That's a really cool idea of having the like almost like a mini city, or like a city like on water essentially.
Additions, like it's
Like, do you think it would have to be something that is like secured? Maybe not even secured to the sea floor, because that would be way too deep. I guess it depends how far out you go. But is it something that's secured, like fastened down, or is it something that has like a motor or an engine that can move?
that'd be tricky. Because I mean,
If it's such a
you
huge
couldn't have
thing.
a high building. I think on the water, you'd have to anchor it right down. Because I mean, you got waves and all that. If you get a big
You
gust of
probably-
wind and waves, you're.
If you have
You're
waves
going
and you have
down.
things, and yeah.
I
I'm
mean, you'd
curious,
probably have to attach it to something sturdy. You'd have to go to probably a seabed or.
probably a seabed. How big are we talking? Like a mini city?
Maybe
Like, are we thinking
like,
just like, I guess for myself, I'm thinking like 8 square blocks.
oh, I was thinking
Like, I
like.
think it's like a pretty decent size, like
Oh, I was gonna
8
say
square
like the
blocks
eight,
is
like a third of London,
a third of London.
like a big community.
Ooh, that's actually pretty big.
It's pretty big.
Like when I think of 8 square blocks, I think of like as far as I can see around this building,
Yeah,
and we're on the 8th floor of this building, so like you can see a good almost kilometer and a half, or no, not that far.
So I'm almost. My theory is.
You got a big,
Yeah,
you got a big city. What's
'Cause
under?
I'm
Like, so
I'm
what? How's it
thinking-
floating then? You know, is it floating just with?
It could just be a part of land breaking off. Like you know how like.
We don't have land to. Oh.
But back then, how like we were all in one,
Little
and then
tectonic
land
plates,
broke
yeah.
off. Like maybe there'd be a piece somewhere, or you'd have
Yeah,
to.
but somehow, that'd be. I don't think that's even. I don't even know how that'd be
You'd have
possible.
to. You'd have to like.
I don't think there's a
You'd have to build something from the seabed all the way up.
Oh, whoa,
Maybe.
that'd be tough. Yeah, I was thinking of something. I guess my theory was building something inland, like essentially just sending it out in pieces, sending it out to the water, and then just like constructing it like this Lego thing, and just like, and then,
Underwater
and then
welding.
eventually.
Build something.
Well, I mean, they would always float on water. I guess is what my. I guess my thought was like. It would float on water, and you would just send out like piece by piece, and then people would be out there working on it, and, like connecting them together, and eventually you'd have like enough pieces out there that you have like a pretty freaking big like surface
Yeah.
area, where then you can like start building things, and then I don't know, have some kind of like plumbing system through like the ocean and.
You just go to the side of the dock, just.
The side of the dock though might not be like it might be like a good 40-minute walk though.
True.
It depends where you are in the. That'd be funny just seeing like this look like you're sitting inland and you're looking way out like out on the ocean and you're like got your binoculars and you just like see like rows of people all sitting
Just
squatting on the edge of this like.
What if?
I'd be like, that's my. I'm like, that poop's coming inland. Like that, the wave. That's how waves work. Like they're coming toward me. That sucks. Because then you'd have like, that would suck. Because you'd have all this waste coming inland, assuming that people, if they like, threw that waste into the water, like it would be
Yeah.
coming inland, to wherever you live. Oh man, that's funny.
That's pretty good. That's
I like
pretty
that.
funny.
Maybe one day we'll be the. This is where the idea kick-started. We'll start.
Yeah.
We'll have a Kickstarter.
Let's just do it now.
Yeah, let's
Screw
start.
it
Let's just
on
start
the
getting
land.
Legos. We'll start building a little continent of Legos. Huh.
Yeah,
Well,
it's good.
yeah. It's good. What if?
What if?
What if? What if? What if? What if?
What if?